Hi there, HOKA One athlete Sage Canaday here with another shoe feature. Today we're going to talk about the Carbon Rocket as well as the Carbon X. Now the Carbon X is the newer shoe that was just released by HOKA. On the website, for more information you can check out hokaoneone.com. I'll put a link in the description below. I believe it hits stores next month in June, but is available online, at least in the US, starting today, May 15th, 2019. Now, this other shoe that has come out from HOKA, it's been available, is the Carbon Rocket. Both of these shoes have carbon fiber in them, and I'm going to get into the differences between the shoes as well as maybe some applications on why you might choose one shoe over the other depending on what distance you're running, what pace you're running, what type of race you're training for, what type of race you're competing in. Let's get started. So the first difference between the two shoes is that the Carbon X weighs a little bit more. It's got a little bit more material to it. It's 8.7 ounces on the men's standard size 9. That's 247 grams. Whereas the Carbon Rocket is a little bit lighter. It's 1.4 ounces lighter, weighing in at 7.3 ounces or 207 grams only. So you do have a little bit difference in the weight. The other main difference between the two shoes is that they're just totally different rides. They feel totally different on your feet, and when you're running in them, it's a totally different experience. So that's more on the subjective side. Another major difference between the two shoes is that the Carbon Rocket is a much lower profile shoe. It only has a 1 millimeter offset, whereas the Carbon X has a 5 millimeter offset from the heel to toe off. So you could say it's an early stage meta rocker shape, the geometry of the shoe. It's curved like a rocking chair, but really it has a lot of curvature and that 5 millimeter offset, thicker stack height as well, right? There's more material going on here. Carbon Rocket, again, lower profile, only a 1 millimeter stack height and less of that meta rocker curve, although they both have HOKA's signature meta rocker shape. Both the shoes have lightweight mesh construction on the upper and really lock down your foot, really are dialed fit types of shoes. I wear the same size in both. Now if we look at the bottoms of the shoes, you can see a little bit of difference in the Carbon Rocket here. We have some strategically placed rubber on the outsole, those black pieces there. Whereas the Carbon X does not have that. It's a uniform rubberized foam all across the bottom there. Just a different ride and a different feel. So why would you use one of these shoes over the other? Well, full disclosure, obviously I'm a HOKA One sponsored athlete. I have both in my quiver. I have several pairs of both in my quiver. But you may be looking at why, one might be a better choice for you or a better ride for you. And I would say it really depends on your race distance, your training speed, your training, as well as things like your running form. I think they both could be great shoes, and that's why I have both of them in my quiver. That being said, if I was doing a shorter road race, like a 5K or 10K, even up to the marathon for me personally, I really like how the Carbon Rocket feels. I wore this at the Rotterdam Marathon. For a lot of people, I think up to a half marathon, it's a great shoe. But notice that because it only has a 1 millimeter offset, it's a very low profile shoe. It may work your calves initially a bit more depending on your running form, and that would be something that you would get used to compared to other HOKAs, which most have a 5 millimeter offset like the Carbon X. So, this is a really low profile fast race shoe. It is a little bit lighter, so I like that feel. I like the responsiveness that the carbon fiber gives you, and it's really fast for things like track workouts and running 5K, 10K pace work. That being said, the Carbon X is also a very fast shoe, and you could obviously race 5K, 10K and shorter distance in it, but I think where it really shines is in the longer distance races like half marathon, marathon, especially road marathon where there's a lot of pounding on the pavement, and even ultra marathons on the road. It's probably going to be the shoe I'm going to wear at the Comrades Ultra Marathon, 55 miles, 88K on the roads, because it has a little bit of that extra support and cushioned feel. I think it feels really smooth on the downhills for me. And because it's a 5mm offset, it's more in line with a lot of the other popular HOKA shoes. So that transition I think is a little more seamless. Either shoe could be really great for your stride and for your mechanics, and they both have that signature HOKA Meta Rocker shape as well as that signature HOKA cushion and feel. Just with the carbon fiber in both of them, you get a nice responsive feel as well. Some final notes on the shoes. I would say the Carbon Rocket here fits maybe a tad more narrow. It's a very dialed fit, much like the HOKA One One Tracer type of fit, whereas the Carbon X, I think the curvature is a little bit different. Toe box is a little bit more forgiving, so it's very comfortable, a slightly more wide form-fitting type of fit, especially in the toe box area. So thanks for watching this shoe feature. Again, I say shoe feature because obviously I'm sponsored by HOKA One One, but I just wanted to tell, a lot of people have been asking, what is the difference between the Carbon Rocket and the new Carbon X? And I just wanted to highlight those key differences in design features and what you may find useful when trying to pick between these two shoes. Or you could get both of them, of course, as well. Thanks so much for watching on here, guys. Really appreciate your support. Again, for more information, check out the HOKA One One website. I'll put a link to that website in the description box below. Be sure to subscribe on here for more of these types of videos, as well as like these types of videos if you like them. Thanks to the Patreon supporters for really making this possible. We'll be doing more training talks, adventure runs, vlogs, you name it on here. Thank you again. Hope your running's going well, and stay tuned for more.